something I had no idea I needed. So I spent some weeks in Germany, just some weeks ago, and it was an amazing time. I went there invited by an old friend of mine, and I had so many ideas and things, like projects I was thinking to do in those 3 weeks. I was planning to document the Yazidi community in Germany, the diaspora, also maybe document a little bit about the gentrification, which is really, really bad in Berlin. But at the end, I couldn't find any context, at least the context I needed. And also the weather was pretty bad, so I couldn't shoot as often as I wanted. It was cloudy and rainy, super rainy. Super rainy. But the same person who invited me to Germany gave me this little Rollei 35. Honestly, the idea of shooting film had crossed my mind many times, but I could never justify to the price of it, having one more camera with me. So I always, it was like an idea, a dream, but I never actually did it. But now that my friend gave me this camera, I couldn't just let the camera there, sitting there on a shelf, or traveling with the camera without using it. And I wanted to try it. I bought some film. I started with the black and white, F1.4 R, and it couldn't be any better. There are many things said about film photography and its magic, and I always thought, okay, probably people are like kind of overvaluing it, reacting to this. But the first time I got the scans from the laboratory, there was some sort of excitement, like my heart was jumping out of joy, and I was, this little minute that it took to download the files, it was like, there was an excitement I never experienced with my digital photography. And solely this excitement, I think, pays off the joy of shooting with film. Especially with this little camera, because it's it's fully manual. There's no focusing patch, so I have no idea if the photo is in focus till I get the photo developed. And developing a photo in color in Berlin took about 3-4 days. So I had no idea if the photo was good enough till 4 days later, at least. Honestly, shooting film is like a no-return trip. Once you try it, you get hooked like a fish. Right after leaving Germany, I bought 4 rolls of Kodak Gold 200 and 16 rolls of Catamount 400. honestly, like about 150 euros. But I think it's worth it. It's worth the experience as a photographer, to experience kind of the old ways, I think. And the process is just so beautiful. A friend of mine, whose tag is Film Fiasco on Instagram, I'm gonna show you like around here his profile. Alvaro is gonna teach me how to develop film, black and white film, in the future, and I'm so excited to just shoot some rolls of film, like having about 10 rolls and just developing with them in a weekend, and see the results and learn the whole process. I'm a great advocate of digital photography. I know one of those people who just praise, film and thinks, it's just so much better. I have many comments on my photos on Instagram. Sometimes, I wish this photo was taken on film. I was like, why? It's a medium, it's a photo. If it's a good photo on digital, it's also going to be a good photo on film, or all the way around. But there's something about digital that it's too easy. It's too easy, and it's easy to fall into like really bad habits, like shooting burst mode and not worrying about actually reading the movement of people. I think that's way more important to learn how to predict people's movement than relying on the 10-15 photos a second that some cameras can take, and with a super buffer, it can take it's almost like a video taking the raw files. It's easy to fall into this by having new cameras, and also honestly that's why I keep using my X Pro 2, because I shoot fully manual. I don't need any faster focus speed, any buffer, I just shoot in usually a single shot. The funny thing is, I've seen many of my students, photography students, going through so much pain when they have to select one shot out of 15 or 20 of the exactly same scene, and they rely more on the camera to get the right timing instead of doing them themselves. Like reading the movement of people going in and out of the frame, and just get this decisive moment, as it was said by Cartier-Bresson. However, I don't think it's a bad thing to have those tools, but especially if you're doing commercial work, or sport or whatever. But street photography, it's about the moment, and it's about enjoying this connection with people. And if you're relying on your camera, you're actually not connecting with people, I think. And that's when it comes to the word intentionality. Intentionality is such an important thing in photography. I think it's one of the key elements of photography, like having an idea or why are you shooting what you're shooting, why you're attracted, you feel drawn to this moment. This is the most important thing. So, for instance, I've seen people taking a lot of snapshots with the camera, and I have some students that take this. I've seen them taking several shots without even looking through the viewfinder or the screen, barely looking through the screen, and the photos lack some sort of. I don't see what was the point in the photo. what drawn this person to shot this particular photograph. When I see this intention, even if a photo is not great, at least I feel there's something. This person is trying to tell me something about his vision of the world. But if there's no intentionality, not a why, the photo just lacks, you know, substance. So when you're shooting with this camera, you need a lot of intentionality, because every time you press the shutter, you're burning money, literally burning money. I calculated the cost of, well, developing the film plus developing of each photo I was taking with this, and it was about like 90 cents. So it really hurts. Well, in color. In black and white it's like 0.5, and eventually if I learn how to develop, that price would go down. But every time I'm pressing the shutter, I'm burning money. So each photo has to count. I cannot just shoot, you know, aimlessly. I need an intentionality. I need an idea before I press the shutter. And also checking all the settings, you know, checking that the exposure is done correctly, that I had the right shutter speed for the moment I'm taking, and also like the aperture, you know, if I have enough depth of field, and so on. So that's my lesson for today. Like, whenever you're shooting, please have an idea, have a why, in why you're shooting this, you know, like there's a connection between this moment and you as a person, and that's why you have to look for it. Anyway, folks, I wish you enjoy this content. Making these videos take a lot of time and effort. I would highly appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel if you like the content, the photos, maybe buy my last street photography magazine, or donate, or $5 or whatever, you know, just a coffee. $1 costs $3 a coffee here. I'm in Georgia now. It's like about $2 a coffee, so it's pretty good. Anyway, I'm gonna be making a video here in Tbilisi anytime soon. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Cheers.